Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Chiromira Hassan, representing the people of Katikam South. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to present a minority report on the proposal to borrow euros 455.03 million to finance the development and infrastructure budget for the financial year 2022-2023. Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 205 of the Rules of Procedure, the Parliament of Uganda, we hereby present a dissenting opinion from the opinion of the majority of the committee. We dissented with majority of the committee on fundamental issues below. First and foremost was the financing terms. 2, the purpose of the loan, and most importantly, the non-compliance of the loan, of the procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development negotiated this loan in March 2022. And that's according to the documents that were submitted before the committee. The same ministry, without revealing the massively unfair terms of this loan facility, allowed this House to pass the budget on the 20th of May. Of course, we all know that we budgeted to borrow 2.5 trillion in respect to budget support. But the fundamental error, Right Honorable Speaker, was hiding the terms and condition of this particular loan. Right Honorable Speaker, the terms of this loan are closer to a typical money lender to government. Approving these terms, Right Honorable Speaker, without proper scrutiny will definitely amount to an error, and it will be against our representative role as leaders in the August House. We have the loan amount totaling to 455 million euros that is supposed to be paid over a period of 10 years, and that is the loan tenure. The upfront fees of 1.5, interest rate of 4.25, and the guarantee fee of 10%. And this is a once-off lump sum that is supposed to be paid upfront. Now, if you work out only the 10% of this loan, it amounts to 45 million euros. Right Honorable Speaker, this is total plunder to our Ugandan taxpayers, because it seems to be a cut. We do not know where it is going. According to the loan agreement, it is the Standard Chartered Bank, UK, that is the lead arranger of this loan. And the other inconsistency with this particular leader or broker of this loan is that they are not willing to pay any cent in form of taxes to our country. Looking at the terms of this agreement, it is purely commercial loan. And we believe that the Standard Chartered Bank UK is doing business with the government of Uganda. And because they are doing business, they have an obligation to pay taxes to our government, especially when they are running away with 45 million euros. Right Honorable Speaker, the effective rate and costs associated with the loan is considered to be too high for Uganda, and in effect, the value of the total loan in euros of 455 is what we are talking about. But the actual take home, the actual amount that we are getting as a country is 409.5 million euros. Of course, this is upfront. Remember, we're supposed to pay 45 million euros upfront to Standard Chartered Bank UK. So now that difference between what we are supposed to get and the actual amount that is coming to us in form of a loan is totally unacceptable. Now, the loan agreement, Right Honorable Speaker, between the government of Uganda, represented by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, of course, the leading, with the leading broker, Standard Chartered Bank, representing those different companies or institutions that have been mentioned by the chairperson, is totally unacceptable with very high and ambiguous costs. In a letter from the Attorney General to the Standard Chartered Bank dated the 25th of October 2022, which was given to us during the committee meetings, the Attorney General is not comfortable with the sum of the clauses of the loan, the terms and the waivers in this loan agreement. It is interesting, Right Honorable Speaker, that part of the agreement was from an Islamic banking institution, the ICIEC, with a specific product called Marhaba, which does not attract interest. Islamic banking is basically interest-free because interests are against Sharia laws. Now, we are being presented with a loan from an Islamic institution that is attracting interest, and we do not understand who is taking the interest that are accruing to this particular loan. Right Honorable Speaker, the purpose of this loan, of course, at the heart of this loan request is a trap for Parliament to blindly fall in. A trap to borrow for the development budget. Specific projects including roads, water, energy, education and health, without separating the loan money from the URA revenue. And that most times we know it gets misplaced. Now, this is very expensive loan with a specific purpose, and therefore it cannot be mixed with attractive domestic resources. Till today, we've been asking the minister to present. I was mentioning that at the heart of this loan request is a trap for this Parliament to blindly fall in, a trap to borrow the development budget, specifically to finance roads, water, energy, education and health, without separating this loan money from our revenues. May be problematic in terms of separating what is supposed to do what. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, we are very clear with the minister during the committee meetings that we requested the minister to present a list of development projects that are going to be funded using this particular loan of 455 million euros. Because the idea was that if we are borrowing for development projects, then we need to ring fence this particular loan to specifically go for those respective projects. But up to now, we've not got any list to that effect. Right Honorable Speaker, Rule 155, Sub-Rule 5, the Rules of Procedure, goes further to guide specific requirements for documents to be laid, and this of course includes the data from the National Planning Authority, clearing the loan as being consistent with macroeconomic variables, as well as effect of debt repayment on liquidity in the coming budgets. Right Honorable Speaker, the letter from the NPA has not been laid in this House to support the members in assessing this loan request. This letter by NPA goes to core of planning and our national debt management, and therefore cannot be taken as a mere formality by this House. What the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development laid before the committee was a certificate of compliance of the annual budget for the financial year 2001 to 22. How do we approve a loan to affect future loan repayment without an opinion of government chief planner? I mean, really how? Our recommendation, Right Honorable Speaker, in summary, we expect Standard Chartered Bank to meet the tax obligation if they are really brokering this loan because they are going away with our money. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, our prayer, given the poor terms of this agreement and the failure of government to provide a schedule and a list specifying the development projects to be funded by this loan, we recommend that this August House support the minority report and reject this loan request. Of course, we encourage the government to look for better loan facilities that are more concessional with better terms that will help protect the sovereignty of our country. Right Honorable Speaker, we owe our country a constitutional mandate of approving loans. And of course, approving loans to actualize our budget. But this type of loans, Right Honorable Speaker, that are commercial have a negative effect on the future budgets of our country. And they have a toll on our taxpayers we represent in this August House. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg to submit.